Talk about a tale of two economies. We talked about it in the Biden era, where we kept talking about how the numbers looked so great for the U.S. economy compared to the rest of the world. And yet a lot of people hurting in middle America, a lot of people hurting across the country, and a lot of Americans pessimistic. That helped defeat Kamala Harris. How has that changed, or are they still pessimistic?
Yeah, right now everyone's pessimistic. And I'm being honest with you, it takes a lot for someone like me to be a pessimist. And I reached my point, right? I reached my breaking point, recognizing, damn, this is just not good. I'm 44 years old. I never seen an economy this bad for such a long period of time, right? And yes, COVID, I understand COVID caused a lot of this to happen. I get that. But still, it feels like you're just stuck. Like everything is just stuck. And yeah, he mentioned, under Biden, things were better, I guess. I don't think so. I think it just evened out and remained stagnant. But I just feel like inflation and everything has gotten to a point where it feels like it's just tough. It's just really tough. So seeing what's going on now, it's hard for people to come up with some solutions. So of course they're going to remain pessimistic. As I said, it takes a lot for me to be a pessimist. And I'm looking at the economy and I'm like, man, maybe it's getting older, right? When you're 44, you start thinking about things in life. You start saying to yourself, man, I'm going to retire soon, or I'm going to get kicked out of my job, or who knows what's going to happen. And you worry about these things. But to me, it's a reality.
They're still pessimistic. And let me start with a poll that you guys referred to last week, which prompted me to try to lay out for you what lies behind that poll. But this was a poll by the Wall Street Journal and NORC. People like me have a good chance of improving our standard of living. And you can see the percentage that agree with that statement, who think they have a good chance of improving their standard of living, has dropped all the way down here to 25%. You can see back here in 1987, it was up around 75%. It bounced around. It did start coming down after the financial crisis, no question about that. This break here was COVID when they didn't take the survey. But you can see that COVID really changed people's perceptions. And now you've got only 25% of the people who believe this.
Now, let me ask you guys a question. Let me see what you guys think, because I have a little theory about this as well. I do know we're dealing with inflation, and I know we are dealing with wage stagnation as well. We're dealing with a lot of stuff right now. But I feel like back in the days, we didn't have all this technology. We didn't have social media. We didn't have all of this information out there to make us want to compare to someone else, right? And we want all these things. Back in the days, the houses were a lot smaller. They had starter homes, and people were okay with that, right? Me personally, I grew up in a household of 3 beds, and there was 6 of us living in the house. 1 bedroom had a bunk bed, 2 people slept in there, and then another bed on the side. So 3 people slept in 1 room, and the baby, my baby brothers or whatever, they slept in the other room. And my parents slept in their room. So that was the way we grew up. But now I feel like everyone wants a bigger house, right? Everyone wants a nice car. Everyone wants to go on vacation. It's a lot that we want in life. And we feel like if we don't achieve certain things, that, we're a failure, right? We're a failure. And the cost of living and everything being so high as well, on top of that, it makes it feel like we're a failure. But to me, I feel like it also has a lot to do with people's behavior when it comes to just buying. People just want to just buy now, pay later, rack up credit card debt. Everyone's going to Spain. Everyone's going to Italy. Everyone buying Airbnbs. Everyone's doing all these things. And then you have people on social media saying you're a loser because you don't have a house, and renting and throwing money away. So it's man, you're hearing all this information. So for me, I feel like there's a lot of negative information out there as well. And on top of that, makes it worse, especially when you deal with inflation and jobs just not giving you the pays that we all deserve.
Another poll found that 70% of Americans believe that there was never an American dream and that they were ever unlikely to realize it. But why do people feel that way? There is some reality and facts behind this sentiment, and that's what I want to show you now. This is the growth in real personal income, meaning how much money did people make after you adjust for inflation, so everything puts on an apples-to-apples basis. If you go back to 1980, you can see that over this period of time, the average personal income grew by 1.3% a year. That may not sound like a lot, but that's after inflation, and when you compound it, it can be. And we had lots of ups and downs, as you can see in these light blue bars, but that's what we did. And then after the financial crisis, That dropped to 1.0%.
In 2008, for those
around that
watching.
period of time,
Yeah.
in 2008, exactly. And, again, that may not sound like a lot, but that's almost a 30% drop. But then look what happened after COVID. It dropped all the way to minus 0.2, meaning the average family after inflation was losing ground. Yes, a lot of that was around 2020 and COVID, but even post-COVID, you can see how small these blue bars are. It's barely growing at all. And so if you want to know why people are unhappy, you just kind of have to look at their pocketbooks.
Yes. Now that is a huge drop. Negative 0.2% after COVID. COVID ruined so many people's lives, man. I mean, unfortunately, some people died during those times, but also like the economy, man, just took a tremendous hit and it still has not rebounded. It still has not rebounded. And even though, like you said, the 1.3% they were getting back in the days, right? People were like, it's not a lot. But that's after inflation. Now we're losing money with inflation. And it's the truth, man. Raises right now is like 1.3%, 1.5% these jobs are giving you. But then you're dealing with inflation that's like 5%. And everything is getting extremely expensive. So don't matter even where you are as far as the income spectrum. Like even if you have a good salary, 100,000, 150,000, you're still going to feel that, right? You're still going to feel that pinch of like, man, your wealth is just disappearing. Like your money is just not as strong. You're noticing it in a register. You're noticing when you're getting gas. You're noticing it when you're trying to get a house. You're noticing it everywhere you go. And what's scary about that statistic as well is the fact of that's nothing to do with debt. The amount of debt that people have right now, especially student loans, on top of that, right? On top of having negative personal growth on your income, that's devastating.
So, Steve, they're also unhappy as we move to your second chart because it's just so expensive to buy a home. Extraordinary statistics in here over the years about the age of people buying their first homes. Used to be late 20s. These days, it's late 30s.
Yeah, so you saw a couple days ago Donald Trump talking about declaring a national housing emergency. Nobody knows what that means or what it would lead him to do. But the point is that he recognizes that the housing problem is very central to people's feeling of unhappiness and of going backwards rather than forwards.
Yeah, Trump says crazy stuff, man. That man says crazy stuff. And it sounds good because people are like, yeah, he's going to do something about the housing. No, he's not. He's not. Because I don't know what that would even entail. Because let me tell you something. If I have my house and I'm going to sell it, I do not care what the hell is going on out there. I'm going to sell my house for the price I'm going to sell my house. Now, I understand if people start dropping the prices, I'm going to have to drop mine. I get it. But what can the president do to make people just drop the cost of their homes? Right? Like I don't see it. It might make it more affordable for them. Might give them some type of rebates or something. Whoever for the one that's buying the home, but for the seller, these sellers are not willing to get rid of the house because you get rid of your house and then you're gonna go where? Where are you gonna go? Right? Right now, the cost of homes are extremely expensive, and that's why you have so many people in their 20s, right, just struggling living in their parents' house because getting a house right now is not feasible. And then once again, you get these people on social media saying, a house is the best thing to do, whatever, and everyone ends up getting house poor. And they're like, no, don't buy a house because a house comes with a whole bunch of expenses. It comes with homeowners insurance, PMI. Hopefully you don't need that, but if you have PMI, property taxes, repairs, there's so much that come along with it. People are just saying, you know what, forget a home. So this whole home buying thing is really reaching a boiling point. Like everyone's getting extremely frustrated. People have an apartment, they want to get a house so bad, but they can't. And people who have homes are like, yo, it's overrated. You guys let me know what you think.
So let's look at what's happened to house prices. So if you go back again to 1990, you can see the average house price was about 3 times the income of the average American. This is the period right before the financial crisis where we'll all remember house prices ran up, got almost to 5. But then after that, house prices came down. But now they've been going back up again, and they're up to almost 5 times. So the affordability has gone from 3 times your income to now 5 times your income, what you have to pay for a house. This is mostly driven by simply inflation and house prices. House prices have been going up faster than other things, and it's made housing unaffordable. And
that is the scary part, man. It really has nothing to do with anything. Nothing in the economy caused the prices of homes to just go high. It just did. because they just don't want to leave their house. Some people just staying in the house, especially for those a few years ago who got the awesome rate, 2.75. Yeah, I'm lucky I got that. They're not willing to leave the house. They're willing to stay in the house as long as they can because it's a good deal. So if there's not a lot of supply out there, but there's a big demand, this is going to happen, right? This is going to happen. It's just wild, man, to know back in the days how cheap homes were. By a starter home and everything was just so simple. And it's just not that now, man. You need to save like a lot for a house, or you need to come and offer more than what they're offering in order to get a house. Because it's just extremely expensive. Now, some places you might be able to take advantage of getting homes, especially if you're a few miles away from the metro city, sometimes outside the burbs, you might be able to get it. But even those are coming hard, right? It's getting really, really hard to get homes even like that. If anybody out there has a home right now or is thinking about buying a home, drop a comment down below and let me know how you're doing. I would love to hear it. Let's keep on playing.
As you then alluded to, Willie, it has changed who can buy a house. So for first-time house buyers back in 1980, 29-year-olds were able to, on average, buy their first house. Today, it's 38-year-olds. And that obviously does not make people happy either, to say the least. For all buyers, it's gone up a lot from 31 to 56. For repeat buyers, it's up to 61 compared to 36 back in 1980. And so housing has become out of the reach of many, many Americans, and that's also weighing very heavily on their feelings of well-being.
Yo, let me tell you something. When the age I bought my first home, 40. I was 40 when I bought my first home. And a lot of it, though, had to do with me, right? When I was 35, I had my kids, and they want something, get a house, get a house, get a house. I'm like, no. Interest rates were high at that time. I'm trying to save up. I'm trying to do things the right way. I didn't want to be house poor. I was smart enough to know I don't want to just jump into a house and get house poor. So many people I knew just jumped into a house, even in 2008, man. They just jumped into a house, able to get a house. They couldn't afford it. They didn't even show verification of income. It was a mess. So I waited and I was patient. And then when COVID started happening, the rates went down. At that time, I had a nice down payment. I felt good about it and I bought my house. But even with that being said, man, I bought my house at the age of 40. And that's saying the average age is 38. That definitely makes sense. So for anyone that's graduating college right now, they're looking like, if you graduate in college at the age of 23, you got 15 more years, man, before you finally get a house. 15 more years, which is why so many people are just giving up on the whole American dream. To me, the American dream never really existed. That's just my opinion. American dream is the opportunities that you have to do the things that you want in life that means the most to you. And I understand a home is really important for a majority of people in society. It truly is. Having a home is like a status symbol, but for some it feels like a completion. Like, okay, I completed my life by buying a home. But if people cannot get that home, the sentiment is gonna be really, 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 really bad. A lot of people are gonna be upset and frustrated, and then you're gonna deal with this, which is the pessimism, which is pessimistic, which is everyone being extremely pessimistic during these times. But guys, drop a comment down below. Let me know how you feel about the whole economy. At the same time, hit the like, leave a comment, and subscribe. Catch you guys in my next video. Peace.